What's up, and welcome back to Cleats Do Us a Podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I am Kevin Watson.
And, man, we're here with friend of the podcast, man, Coach Eric Dick. It's an honor to have you back on, man, and just catching up with you.
I appreciate y'all coming back out again, man. This is probably one of my favorite things, especially with you guys. Y'all do a heck of a job, and I just appreciate y'all coming out here and spotlighting us.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. But we're just going to jump into it because I don't want to keep you too long because you got your boys out here running around. We put you in high praise. Well, Coach put you in high praise, man.
Yes,
in our breakdown of the top
Yes,
25. Take us through like the landscape of how you feel about this class.
Class 1A, especially at the top end, you're always going to have your perennials, Pikeville and Raceland for sure. I feel like they're, in a lot of aspects, they're on a whole nother level. But once you get through the Pikeville and Raceland, I feel like it's a wide open field. And so, for us, it's just going to be, taking it one game at a time as we get there, and using this season as building blocks, for us to be peaking at the right time, right in playoff time. So, that's the biggest thing for us. So, definitely top end is, and I feel like, and I've said it before, Pikeville and Raceland, they could probably compete 2, 3, maybe even 4A. I mean, and so, some of those other teams that they've had. I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we're in the mix. And
that's where you strive to be.
Oh yeah, no, I want to be relevant.
Right.
I want us to be relevant in not only our district, but I want us to be relevant in our class. That's the standard that was set here, and I want to continue that standard and continue to push forward with it. So.
That's my guy here.
Look at it, fire me up,
He's a
Coach.
professional, man. Hey, I tell you, I was so pumped to come here. I mean,
Listen, we never really got. Did we ever ask you your fast food or your favorite road trip snack?
Remember we were at the All-Star games, and we were talking about
the
All-Star.
And you came to the crib. He came to the crib
yeah,
too.
this is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna.
Yeah, man, we can just have a good time with this.
We got a lot of stuff we can talk about.
Obviously, we want to talk about this year's team.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And I mean, I put it out there. I said you were a top 5 team at the end of the year. And I also said that this is the type of team that could go 6-4, 7-3, and maybe be one of your better teams if everything comes together. Obviously, you got a new center, a new quarterback. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got a stud running back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a young offensive line. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense is going to carry you. Fair enough.
Yeah. The thing with us is, and I didn't really realize it. I talked about, before the season, I always talked about how young we were going to be, and when we started filling out the preseason surveys, then I really got to figuring out. I was like, man, we are young. We have 6 returning starters on both sides of the ball, 4 on defense, 2 on offense. Those 4 on defense, 3 of them played the same spot. And with one of the guys being a DB, so you had Mikey Wortham, Aiden DeWeese, who you just had, and then Jackson Ruscio, or the returning starters, with our DB Keith Hadley being the only returning starters on defense. We lost everybody up front, defensive line wise, and then when you flip offensively, the only 2 starters we had coming back was Jamari at running back, and then Cooper Render, who you all had at offensive line. So those are monster shoes to fill. But I will say this, and everybody that's asked me about this team, yes, we are young, and it'll be a roller coaster ride for us this year. But I think, as we start to gel together, I think that's when you're going to start seeing things, and we're going to start seeing things to where we fit with everything. So it's going to be all about the journey this season, and not about just the upfront and the upfront stuff. So it's going to be everything for us. And so these kids have me excited. I told them they gave me a newfound energy. They're very close to one another. It's been a total buy-in for us. So I'm excited in a lot of aspects for this season.
Yeah, and that's what we heard on both episodes. Is like the brotherhood here they're tight. They love each other. And they can fight. And then they can, hug it out in the locker room.
And when I tell you, I couldn't wait for our first one because we had some testy moments out of practice, but I mean it was just, it was to the point to where you knew it was time to start hitting other people. And so, for them, I think it was just the frustration running over and them finally being like, thank God we can finally go out and do this against somebody else, because I think they had finally hit that threshold with everything.
Well,
so
they get tired of each other cheating the plays, and I mean,
100%.
It happens. I mean, 100%. I was telling, I think it was the last episode. It's good to fight.
Oh yeah.
You've got to have that desire to want to get better, and you want to bleed together. But the thing is, if you don't have each other's back on Fridays, then all that's for nothing.
And that's what
I can feel it with this group.
Yeah,
I mean, all four of them said it.
Yeah,
and we're together. We're a family. We're close.
And that's what we preach. You know, they can have any disagreements and stuff that they want out on that field. When we come back in, it's over because it's now we're back to, you know, we're all just out there making ourselves better. As soon as we step in back in that locker room, anything that went on out there, that's a closed thing.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter because we're all here for the same thing. We're all here for the same goal. So, you know, whatever transpired out there, you know, is now it's done and forgotten, and then we move on to the next thing. So
take your frustrations out on Friday nights on the other team.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And we talked, you know, on the top 25 too. I was like, you can't really say anything bad about your tenure here. You know what I mean? You're always a hard-nosed team. You know what I mean? You might look like you're the underdog when you go into a game. You go to 7-on-7, you're like, oh man, I don't know how we're gonna do. You know what I mean? We got questions. You know what I mean? Let's get.
And we heard it out there. Everybody was
yes.
like, "Holy Cross is small. They're not gonna. I mean, we're gonna roll these dudes." And you won the tournament.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that was the thing. I told them at the beginning. I was like, look, win, lose, or draw. I just want to get better, game by game.
That's right.
Possession by possession. I just want to get better. Now, whatever happens from there is whatever happens from there. I was like, I told you all, it didn't matter about winning or losing, you know. But you know, of course, the competitive side of me, like I wanted to win when we got there. But you know, I was like, you know, I just want to get better because I had a lot of unproven entities. So I just wanted to see, hey, can we get better? Can we do this every game? Can we get better every game? Can we, you know, is our conditioning where it needs to be? And so being able to see that, and then lo and behold, you know, here we are. We sit in the finals of the Oldham County tournament, and you know, after we won, I couldn't help but laugh. And somebody's like, "What's so funny?" I was like,
"No, it was probably me because I looked at him after the tournament, and he went,
you know, and I was like, you know, I told him, I said, I've been proud of a lot of things, and people can take 7-on-7 for what it's worth, and I get it completely. But when you're looking for positives, especially out of a young team, and you're trying to build a team like that, for those guys to be able to come together that early and put stuff together like that, you know, for me, that was the positive that I can get. You know, does that mean we're going to go out and win a state championship because we won the Oldham County 7-on-7? No, but from my looking and from any coaches looking, you were just looking to get better game by game, and for us to be able to compete against, you know, every team there was bigger than what we were, 5-6, you know, 4, 5, 6 A's, and so, you know, for us to go out there and do what we did, I was more than ecstatic with their effort and how we played that day.
That's huge for your quarterback because he needs all the reps he can get.
He is, because you know, Jarek is completely unproven except for on the JV level, and so you know, our quarterback Jamie Jones last year transferred, and you know, we have some shoes to fill in that position. And Jarek has, you know, more than stepped up in that position, and you know, I'm hoping that he's able to pick back up where Jamie left off because Jamie was making great strides at the end of the year, and so. You know, hoping Jarek can pick back up and, you know, kind of take this offense hopefully to another level.
When I had mentioned to him, I said, that kid, I was impressed. No, he's not the best quarterback in 1A, but as it went on, he made a mistake. Mm-hmm. He made a couple mistakes early, and he was like, Psh, I don't care. I'm moving on. And then he made 2 huge throws in that championship game. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, this dude's getting it.
Yeah, he's
getting it.
You know, he's got some moxie about him, and so it makes me very excited about what we have for the future. You may not know his name now, but by the time it's all said and done, Jarek Hoover will be a guy that I guarantee you'll be able to hear a lot of. And so we're excited, you know, for him to take over at the helm for us. And you know, he's got a great guy in the back with Jamari being able to take some of that pressure off of him early on, because Jamari played outstanding last year. You know, rushing for 1,300, and I think that was only in 8 or 9 games, and so there was a couple games that he was out, and so Jamari had a great year. But you know, Jamari had a great year because those guys up front it was a great group of guys, and you know, with the Dylan Jacobs and the Caleb Phillips and Tyler Hornings and those guys, you know, we graduated a good group up front, and so you know, for him to come back and be able to do what he did again, you know, it is for us, it is you know, it's gonna be a big thing for us. So
it's my guy right there. He just patted me on the butt. Makes me feel well.
I appreciate you, Coach, for the waters.
Coach Cerati. Cheers, Coach.
Yeah, is there, you know, talk about your young guys, though, that are, you know what I mean, that are really putting in the work.
Yeah, so, you know, I got, you know, at receiver, we got a guy by the name of Chris Thorton. He's a sophomore. Actually was a starter at the beginning of the year last year, played 5 or 6 snaps and broke his collarbone in the North Bullet game and was done for the season. Kind kind of worried because he's fought injuries a lot coming up through the grade school levels, and then then he comes out in game 1, breaks his collarbone, and so but he had a great offseason, great recovery, and he's a heck of a basketball player too, and so his recovery, he did great, and then he's back this year, so we're expected big things from him. Colton King, who's another sophomore, he'll split time in the slot to the tailback position, and then he'll play outside linebacker for us as well. Malachi Watkins is another guy that will start in the slot for us. We'll also play safety. Tremendous upside. He's small, fast, and shifty. I mean, you're going to have to make sure that you are breaking down on that kid in order to make some plays, because, people are going to look at him and be like, well, I can take care of this guy. He's, I bet you Malachi's probably like 5'6", 5'7", maybe $130, but
School's gold.
Yeah.
I told you that. What did I tell you after we scrimmaged last year?
No, yeah.
He's got these dudes that will knock your head off and make no bones, and they'll tell you about it.
And he is.
They gave us fits.
He is one. He'll stick his nose in with anybody, and that's the thing that I love. He's a hard-nosed kid that been around football his entire life. His dad's been his coach, and has great upbringing with that, and has a great knowledge of the game. So Malachi's a guy. Up front, Cooper's brother Jackson Render is going to be another guy that we'll rely on a lot. Owen Hutchinson at center for us, and we got him, and then we're kind of looking. We had a transfer from Philadelphia, Jay Bryan, and that is right now is maybe our other starting tackle on the other side. But defensively, we're working. We may have a freshman that plays, and Ace Foley, that'll help us out some offensively. Nate Dardery is another one that'll play out at safety. So it's just trying to figure out and getting the best. Because when it comes to that secondary. Keith Hadley is the one that's probably going to have to be the guy that'll anchor us down, because he's the only one with legit real playing time. And so my quarterback, Jarek Hoover, is also back there at safety. And so it'll be, my defense is going to be relying on my linebackers, which is Aiden DeWeese, Mikey Wortham, and then, Colton King will help out with Jackson playing on the end position as well. So, I mean, it's going to be a team effort on that. But, some of these young guys, like I said, these young guys have absolutely blown the roof off, everything from our lifting through the summer and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how everything pans out with them.
Yeah, and this is just a Holy Cross update, man. Fire me up, man. And I'm excited for this year. But what? Let's get into some.
Why you gotta go with the bud?
Let's get into some icebreakers, man. Let's get into icebreaker questions.
I thought you were gonna throw it.
No. But I do got one important question at the end.
Okay. Eric will answer the question.
Oh yeah.
Favorite road trip snack?
Trail mix. Love trail mix. Trail mix with the. I guess it's always called the mountain trail mix with like the little candy pieces. That
with the chocolate and the M&M.
Yeah, that and usually I just I'm not a big Gatorades are all right. I would much rather just have a water, just a large water and one of those, and I'm good to go. If we're talking about road trips with the family, maybe some combos. I'm a big combo.
Combo. This guy.
Combo.
But the only problem with the combos is they stink.
They
do stink, but it's like having 2 meals in one, because you get the pretzel and then you get whatever's inside, the pepperoni or the cheddar. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because you got the blue cheese. Who eats blue cheese? You eat those?
I do. No, I've never had the blue cheese combos. I will. I'm a big blue cheese guy on wings, so I do.
Okay.
Enjoy blue cheese on wings.
Okay,
Don't
wings,
knock it till you try it.
I'll give it to the wings, because a lot of people do that. So.
I got the mango. What was it I got the other day? On the way to Scott County.
Baja mango.
Mango something Doritos, and he was like, "That's nasty." I was like, I couldn't eat them fast enough. Great.
Your favorite fast food?
Man, I didn't get this way being picky, and I love it all. I love big Chick-fil-A guy. I'm a big Sonic guy too. I love Sonic. Love Sonic.
What's your order?
Jalapeno double cheeseburger.
What's the order?
I do. here's the thing. I love tater tots, and there's not many places that you can get tater tots.
No,
from. And
you
so,
can't.
So Sonic, you can get tater tots. So I'm a big tater tot guy. So usually a cheeseburger, tater tots, and then I love their cherry limeades. And so
Cherry limeade.
That's why I like Roosters, because you go get the tater tots with them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tater tots
yeah.
are.
I would take tater tots over any fry.
What?
Hey,
Any fry.
that's what I'm talking about.
Tater tots at
tots.
Roosters?
Tater tots
Tater
at Roosters.
tots.
And you can get the dumpster
The
tots,
dumpster tots are
that
my
have got like
go-to.
cheese and chives. And I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's legit.
Wait, I must have not have read the whole thing because I just get the wedges there.
No, yeah,
No.
Dumpster tots.
Go for the dumpster tots.
Dumpster tots.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Does
my.
it look like we don't know about dumpster tots?
Yeah.
Hey, no. You know what? You know my wife. She cooks. She's a real good cook, man. She makes really good salsa, so I eat a lot of chips and salsa. So okay, and then my favorite meal that she makes is corned beef tacos. Have you guys ever had corned beef tacos?
I have not.
If we do a home studio,
All right. Well,
oh, hey,
I'm
I'm
down.
gonna hook you guys up.
I'm down.
But you can have it lettuce or you can have cabbage in them.
Gina, I want it to go order next time we come.
But yeah, if you come over for home studio, I'll have her whip up probably about 40 of those bad boys. 'Cause,
40?
hey, we'll rip through them.
Really? All right. Now, are they bite sized or not?
No,
They're
man.
big?
Yeah.
And you're saying 40.
No, well, I'm just saying.
He's
You
giving
guys,
us a lot of
I know.
you guys can take some home. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Hey, I'll probably smash like 6 of them, but yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if we ever do a home studio one, and your staff, you know what I mean. You guys lost a key member. We don't have to talk about this if you don't want
No,
to.
you're all right.
You know what I mean?
I don't see how you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
But it just
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you guys have a huge loss for the whole lacrosse family.
And not just the football team.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Not
I
just
agree with that
football
100%. I agree with that.
right, and you know, what I mean, I didn't want to bring it up,
No,
but
you're
I,
fine.
you know,
You're fine.
I just feel like, you know, maybe you can just express like what he meant to you and the staff.
Chris Thornton passed away this past April. Died from a congenital heart disease that he had. Died on the operating table, and so it's supposed to be a routine thing that didn't turn into anything so routine. And it was just it was a massive blow, especially for myself. I mean, but this community as well. We had a celebration of life here for him, and to see the response and see how many lives that he had touched. Outside of just, the players absolutely loved him. And, they had a tough time as well as, the guys in our locker room as well, our coaching staff. But to see how many families and how many, just of the other kids here and the outside families that he had touched and that filled up this place and, for his celebration here. And then even at the funeral home, he was somebody that was well loved, and he loved this place. He was a former student of mine, and we started that connection in the classroom, not on the best of terms, and but it grew into something. And it just so happens when I got my first head coaching job at Moore, he was actually he was getting reassigned schools because he was moving, and it just so happened that he was moving to Moore with and he was like, hey, I guess we're going together. And so I was like, yeah, come on. So we'll do it. And so he went with me from Southern to Moore, and we've been inseparable ever since. And so he was always, every staff that I ever had, he was always a part of, and he was just somebody that it's hard to even put into words today because I feel like sometimes that I can pick up the phone and I can still call him and he's gonna answer and give me grief about this and that, and we talk about it a lot. I don't think it's really hit me. Last week was a little bit of a wake up call, first scrimmage and stuff, and him not being here. And I think as we get closer to the season, I think it's going to hit me even more.
That first Friday.
Yeah, that first Friday, and so.
He was larger than life, and he was his right hand man. I made the joke that you never saw Coach Dick football related where Chris wasn't 3 steps behind. He was always right behind him. What does he need to do?
Siri doesn't have an answer.
Siri doesn't have an answer for it. But fair assessment.
No, yeah, there. Everywhere we went, if I was coming up here to announce, he was, hey, could you come pick me up? If I was, anything that had to do with this place, he wanted every bit of being a part of it. And so, but it just speaks to the volumes of, what that place, what this place meant to him, and, what this place is really all about. And, just, being, opening arms, to, anybody. And so, with Chris, it was a place that he absolutely loved and couldn't wait to be a part of, and, put a lot of things on hold for him to make sure that he could, do this. And so it is it's a massive blow to us. And, these kids have, a lot of them have struggled, and, but, like I told them, I said, we'll never have to go through this alone. We got each other, and, everything that we do this year is going to be to memorialize him. And, so I'm looking forward to the first game, because we got a couple things planned to, honor Chris. And, this whole season is going to be, Jamari especially. Jamari was especially affected by Chris because, him and Jamari had a great relationship. And so, Jamari, talks to Chris's mom and, just, lets her know that, everything we do this year, ma'am, is for your son. And, it just speaks to who Chris was and the type of guy he was. And so, he is greatly missed. And now, for me personally, it was an assistant coach, and it was, he was like a son to me. And so it's tough, but, he's been out at practices. We see there's a fence line that runs the back of our practice field. And as much as he hated U of L and hated Cardinals, they always say the debt comes back as Cardinal birds, as a show like, hey, it's okay. It's a sign of peace. And so it's crazy because there's a Cardinal during the summer, and Will from time to time will just sit on that fence and not move. And so, the kids are always like, hey, Coach Chris is here. And I think it's pretty cool that they recognize it. But, he was definitely larger than life, and, somebody that we'll greatly miss throughout the season.
And, the best way they can honor him is to come out and give their all and fight. And
no, I agree.
And win, lose, or draw, give your all, because that's the way he would want.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. They want to make sure that a couple of kids are like, hey, is there, can we get some pictures of him in the locker room? So we're working on getting some pictures and stuff of him, to put up in our locker room. And so, we're just, we want to make sure that we honor him and honor him the best way possible.
It's tough on kids at that age to lose someone that they look up to and admire. I mean, it's tough.
And it's crazy, we wanted to hold it from him because it happened the day he passed was junior and senior prom night. So we were stuck in a conundrum because we didn't want to ruin their night by telling them that, but at the same time too, I wanted them to hear from myself as opposed to trying to find out any other way.
Social media.
And I told them, Chris would want them to have a good time because that's what he cared about the most was, those kids. And so, just making sure that they heard it from me. But, he was awesome. He was awesome. And, sometimes I catch myself because, I talk about him in the past tense, but he's definitely somebody that'll be missed for sure.
It's funny. He talks about the Cardinal bird because, I lost Reader. Reader was my guy. And all the time I've got a great big fat cardinal bird that comes and sits on my fence, and I say, "There's Reader." I mean, he's sitting there, and that's to hear that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's insane. It's hopped off the fence and walked out right next to us. And usually, birds are skittish, and so. But great. that bird will literally just stand there, and I know it has to drive him insane that the afterlife. He's he's possibly a
being
Cardinal.
A Kentucky,
but being such a big Kentucky fan, which everybody's like, that there's no way that kid is coming back as a Cardinal bird. But you know what? For me, that's him, and so I just appreciate him watching over us and taking care of us.
There you go. Thank you for sharing.
No, I appreciate
a little bit of time. And it was just
I appreciate your.
It was an emotional. I don't know if I said it to you, but it was emotional, hearing what you said about him, and it made me feel like I knew him. So it was just a good moment, and I was like,
he was always around.
Oh
yeah. But this is the Holy Cross Media Day update with Coach Eric, and I'm just happy to be having you on and being a part of this somehow, some way.
I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate it. Being able to get us, because I feel like the media does a okay job. I just feel like some schools get lost in the shuffle. If you're not the the upper tier, your Male, your Manuals, your St. X, and your Trinities, I feel like everybody else just kind of we're jogging for position, to just have some way, to get our stories out and, to let us know that, to let other people know, like, hey, look at this place and look what they're doing. So guys like yourself doing stuff like this, I tell you all the time, I cannot appreciate y'all enough, because being able to highlight people like us and, getting our school out here for everything. And, I can't thank you all enough for that, because, it's tough and you want to get out there as much as you can. But I get it too. Media is limited on what they can and can't do. But, when you got guys like yourself that do a first class, production like this, you can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
So.
And we appreciate those kind words, man. And that's what it is about spotlighting them little guys.
Yeah.
We've been going around the state, you know what I mean? And spotlighting some pretty good teams.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is our route, man.
No,
There's a reason that we made this one last.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. No, yeah, you guys do a great job. And, seeing some of the other places that y'all been, Scott County, I think y'all are Frederick Douglass too.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's been cool. Just cool watching, everywhere y'all been.
Yeah,
so.
and we appreciate that, man. But like we
Well,
always
no way.
Hey, go ahead.
Just real quick. I know you got to get back, but talk about the facilities upgrade real quick.
Oh, yes.
So-
we didn't really get to touch on that
So,
last time.
if you you kind of look around right now, the scoreboard is brand new, fully digital. Every day I feel like we're doing something new with that. So, hopefully what we're going to do is we're going to start pushing more towards the replay and stuff aspect. But we are just really starting to just at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the scoreboard. Brand new press box that we have up there, brand new bleachers over here, the home side bleachers, the reserved seating in the middle, which this right now we're running a special, so I'll plug it. Running a special for
and we'll retreat that.
if you want the chair back seats for just football, it's $75 for the entire season. But if you want every game whatsoever, it's $125 for everything out here, and then it also, I believe, moves you inside. So great deal, to try and get some of the best seats in the house here on a Friday night, because this place is packed and it is a happening. And so we are actually getting ready. We're in the beginning phases of getting ready to revamp our field house and our weight room area. So a lot of exciting things are happening around here right now. So for me, it keeps me invigorated. It keeps me, ready to roll. And, with these kids and all the different improvements and stuff, people, I heard the kids say, why not us? And, that's the thing. Why not us? Why would you not want to come here, get a first-class education, get a first-class sports experience, have the ability, because, like Jackson said, he plays 2 sports within the same season. I have kids that are 3-4 sport athletes. So, I mean, it's just, you're able to have the freedom to play whatever you want, do whatever you want.
That's the small school blessing and curse.
Oh, no, 100%. Would I love to have them on a regular basis?
Absolutely.
I'd love to tell Jackson.
But you don't want to handcuff them either.
No. And I want them to be able to, high school, I want them to be able to experience what they can experience. It's supposed to be
That's what it's all about.
It's going to be the best 4 years of your life. I want you to be able to see and do whatever you can in those 4 years. So,
hey, everybody on the highway, come check these dudes out. Hey, every time I lost in the playoffs, and he was still rolling, where was I at, Coach?
You were.
You
were always here. You were here, along with everybody else up and down this place.
Everybody down the highway. The further you get in the playoffs, the more people will be around.
It is.
It's true.
That's the truth.
It is a cool place to be, and I've been to a bunch of different spots, but to come out here on a Friday night. And you pull up, and people are tailgating at your high school.
And the Bishop
events.
David guy, the old Bishop David crews here.
I can't even say enough about Bishop David, Angela Marisi, even the Holy Cross, alums. Yeah. I mean, it's insane, the amount of support that you get from the alumni. It is awesome. And it lets you know as a coach, like, what you're doing matters. It matters here. It matters to this community. It matters to everybody that laid the groundwork to get us to where we're at today. So it's a really cool experience. I tell everybody now, being 43 and being on my second high school stint, like, I wanted to make sure where I was at meant something, and it means everything. My kids enjoy it. My wife loves it. It's just a great family atmosphere here, and it is. It's just one giant family here. So,
and they always say, leave it better than you found it, my friend. Whenever you decide to step away, you left it better than you found it.
I appreciate it.
A great tradition, but you got to have somebody that takes it on, and he's done a great job of moving it on. And I top 5 team right here at the end of the year. I'm telling you,
Let's go, baby.
They will be playing in the 4th round this year.
Hey, like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to Whistle podcast.
Appreciate it.